Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be going over one of the one-handed unique axes in Diablo 1, which is actually pretty good for sorcerers and, well, actually anybody who wants to cast spells, really. But the sorcerer is the main one that you do for spell casting. This is a small axe. It's 2 to 10 damage, 24 durability. You generally don't swing with this thing, though. It's called Aguinara's Hatchet. Aguinara's? I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. Now, Aguinara's Hatchet is a... No, it is a two-handed one. Oh, man. It is two-handed. Well, I could have sworn there was at least some one-handed axes, but I guess I was wrong. So the Aguinara's Hatchet is a small axe, and apparently it is two-handed, which makes it essentially in the same classification as a staff. It does have some pretty interesting bonuses specifically for mages. So first off is it increases the spells level of all your spells by 1, which is really nice. It'll give you a little bit of extra damage. Now, spell damage in this game is kind of weird. It seems to function on kind of like a character level basis and a spell level basis. And there's a couple things that you get. Most of your damage for your spells seems to come specifically from your character level. Although you do get some damage from leveling the spell itself, but the main benefit for increasing the spell level seems to be the decrease of the mana cost of the spell, which definitely seems to be very nice as far as, like, you know, if you're trying to set up a caster. Now, unfortunately, because it's two-handed, well, that means you don't get a shield, so that kind of sucks. It does give you plus 10 to magic, and it gives you resistance 75 to magic damage, which is essentially cap for that particular element, I believe. Yes, that is cap. So you do get essentially maxed out magic resistance and plus 1 to all your spell levels. Now, the thing is, though, is there are staves that have similar stats. If I remember correctly, there is a staff that also has plus 1 to spell levels and has some slightly better stats in general. Also, staves tend to come with charges, which allow you to cast specific spells in a certain quantity, which are actually really useful, especially things like, you know, Staff of Apocalypse and things like that, or Staff of Chain Lightning, can come in really handy to give you essentially free spells that can be cast, you know, whenever you want to. Overall, I'm not really sure what to think about this one. It's kind of like a poor man's staff. It could potentially be useful if you don't have a better staff to put on. But in general, sorcerers, if I remember correctly, tend to go with, you know, sword and board, essentially, because you can get more stats that way. And in general, just beef up your magic and your, you know, your HP and all your other stats to a much higher degree. And you can get better resistances from your shield also. You know, stacking a really nice, like, plus all attributes weapon together with a nice resistance shield. I think you can get all attributes on the shield, too. Tends to be a better combination, I think, for most mages, which, yeah, not exactly the most amazing in terms of, like, its ability. Let's see how much it sells for. You know what? Let's go. Let's take a look and see what the value of it is.
Whoa, what can I do for you?
6,200. So that's not bad. That's actually a pretty decent sell price, much better than that crappy Celestial Axe we looked at earlier. The graphic is kind of interesting, but yeah, I mean, it is an axe that's designed for casters. Kind of a weird one, to be perfectly honest. I don't really know what else to talk about with this particular item. I think it's probably one of those items that you find, you're like, this is interesting, and then probably maybe never use it. Maybe if you're going into an area specifically that has, like, high magic damage. I think the succubuses in hell have, like, you know, the spamming magic bolts. I think those are magic anyway. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, I mean, definitely if you're fighting monsters that are using magic damage on you, I mean, this is just a free way to cap your magic resistance. So it could be useful for that particular purpose. I think that's pretty much it, though. As always, I'd appreciate you guys and gals joining me when we're talking about these Diablo 1 uniques. Not all the videos are going to be long, because a lot of these unique items are pretty basic, and, well, honestly, a lot of them are trash. But, yeah. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you enjoy the content, because this is my full-time job. And as always, keep watching.